Many of us may be enjoying an extra day off work. Some of us, let's put it that way. But for estate agents, this bank holiday weekend is one of the busiest times of the year, traditionally marking the beginning of the home buyers season.
Around 40% of towns in England and Wales recorded a rise in house sales last year, this according to data from Lloyds TSB. So, should sellers be feeling optimistic this spring? Housing expert Henry Pryor joins us now. Henry, I must say, I have a little bit of doubt when it comes to just how popular house hunting is over the Easter weekend, simply because we hear of house prices falling, we hear how difficult it is for people to get a mortgage, particularly for first-time buyers. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. And this is a classic bank holiday story. People want to go out and kick tyres if they're looking for second-hand cars, and they go on websites and look in estate agents' windows if they're looking for houses. It costs nothing to register with an estate agent. It costs nothing to go and look. And there are one or two people, I'm afraid, who are fascinated by the inside of other people's houses, and they make an appointment with an estate agent and they'll go and have a look on a bank holiday. It's a great way of spending the time.
But it is also true, isn't it? If you're thinking of moving, you're much more likely to do it early in the year, aren't you? You're not going to be doing it, for example, in the depths of winter. It just doesn't seem the right thing to be doing.
No, well, the housing market is very seasonal, and we do start to see the housing market pick up. Estate agents, banks, mortgage lenders are all trying to talk the market up. Their glass is half full today as they're trying to move the market forward and get things going. But it's worth bearing in mind that only 1 in 3 houses actually sells. So although you hear a great deal of good news from estate agents about how frothy the market is, this research out from Lloyds TSB this morning talks about how the volume of homes selling, the number actually selling, is roughly half what it was at the peak of the market in 2007 and 2008.
So who isn't buying now?
Well, there are 2 big sectors of people that can't buy. First of all, there are the first-time buyers, those who didn't rush to try and beat the end of the stamp duty holiday, which ended last week. People who are having to raise significant deposits in order to be able to put down, to get a mortgage to buy a house in the first place. They are effectively priced out of the market. And then there are probably 1 million people who are prisoners in their own home, who bought perhaps in the last 4 or 5 years, and who have seen, with the exception of London and the South East, house prices falling by between 5 and 10% in many parts. They have lost all the equity that they put down when they borrowed 95% mortgages to buy their properties, and they therefore have no equity to put down for the next house, and as a result they can't move on and they can't free up the house that they are now living in to the next generation of first-time buyers.
You mentioned the South East, particularly London is always an exception to the rule with property, isn't it? Is there the old north-south divide very evident at the moment? Any sign of it changing?
Well, there is what I refer to as the gated community of the M25. The housing market there is buoyant. It's buoyed up by international investors, foreign money coming into the capital. My day job is looking for houses for people who ring me up, but they don't say, could I buy a house in Manchester, please? They want to buy something in Chelsea or Kensington. Now, outside of the M25, the market is moved, as it traditionally is, by the 3 Ds, death, debt and divorce. And it's also moved, of course, by people relocating. You know, auspicious day, here we are, the last day for breakfast from here. Tomorrow it starts anew and afresh from Manchester, and lots of people are moving as a result. So that's going to get the housing market moving. But those who want to sell need to concentrate on the 3 Ps: presentation, price and promotion. Make sure you price your house correctly and make it look affordable to people who are looking on websites, looking in estate agents' windows. Make sure it's clean and tidy. You don't have to spend a fortune in the DIY stores, but make sure it looks good. And then obviously promote it, advertise it, get an estate agents for sale board up.
OK, Henry, thank you very much for bringing us up to date on the housing market. Perhaps there's some good news for some people out there. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.